signs that you are among the chosen ones by God for his mission. In the grand tapestry of life, there are moments when the divine hand of God weaves a unique thread into your existence, a thread that sets you apart, not for your own glory, but for the fulfillment of a higher purpose. To be chosen by God for his mission is not a call to pride or superiority. It is a sacred invitation to surrender, to serve, and to shine as a beacon of his love and truth in a world that often feels lost in darkness. If you have ever felt a stirring in your soul, a quiet whisper in your heart, or an unshakable sense that you were born for something greater, you may be among the chosen ones. This is not a title to boast of, but a responsibility to embrace with humility and courage. Here are the signs that indicate you are chosen by God for his mission, and how you can rise to the calling with faith and determination. 1. A deep, unshakable sense of purpose. One of the clearest signs that you are chosen by God is a profound sense of purpose that transcends worldly ambitions. You may feel a longing to make a difference, not for fame or recognition, but because you are driven by a higher calling. This purpose often feels like a fire burning within you, compelling you to act, to speak, and to serve in ways that align with God's will. Even when the path is unclear, you trust that God is guiding your steps, and you find peace in knowing that your life is part of a greater plan. 2. A heart that burns with compassion. Those chosen by God often have hearts that are deeply attuned to the suffering of others. You may find yourself moved to tears by the pain of the broken, the lonely, and the lost. This compassion is not merely emotional. It is a divine gift that compels you to act. You feel called to be a vessel of God's love, to comfort the weary, to heal the wounded, and to lift up those who have fallen. Your heart beats in rhythm with God's, and you cannot ignore the cries of those in need. 3. A life marked by trials and triumphs. The chosen ones are often tested in ways that seem unbearable, but these trials are not without purpose. God allows challenges to refine you, to strengthen your faith, and to prepare you for the mission ahead. You may face opposition, rejection, or even persecution, but through it all, you discover a resilience that can only come from God. Your trials become testimonies, and your struggles become stories of triumph that inspire others to trust in God's faithfulness. 4. A hunger for spiritual growth. If you are chosen by God, you will have an insatiable hunger for spiritual growth. You are not content with superficial faith. You seek a deeper relationship with God. You spend time in prayer, study the scriptures, and seek wisdom from those who walk closely with him. This hunger is a sign that God is preparing you for greater responsibilities, equipping you with the knowledge and discernment you need to fulfill your mission. 5. A willingness to sacrifice. Being chosen by God often requires sacrifice. You may be called to give up comfort, convenience, or even relationships that hinder your ability to serve him fully. This willingness to sacrifice is not born of obligation, but of love. You understand that the mission is greater than your personal desires, and you are willing to lay down your life figuratively or literally for the sake of God's kingdom. This sacrificial spirit is a hallmark of those who are truly chosen. 6. A voice that speaks truth. God often equips his chosen ones with a voice that speaks truth, even when it is unpopular or unwelcome. You may find yourself compelled to confront injustice, to challenge falsehoods, or to proclaim God's word with boldness. This is not because you seek conflict, but because you are driven by a desire to see God's will done on earth as it is in heaven. Your voice becomes a tool for transformation, shining light into darkness and bringing hope to the hopeless. 7. A life that bears fruit. Finally, those chosen by God bear fruit that reflects his character and power. Your life becomes a testament to his grace as others see the love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control that flow from you. Galatians 5:22-23. You may not always see the impact of your actions, but God uses you to plant seeds of hope, to nurture growth, and to bring about his purposes in ways that are beyond your understanding. To be chosen by God for his mission is both a privilege and a responsibility. It is a call to walk in faith, to serve with love, and to trust in his guidance, even when the path is uncertain. If you see these signs in your life, Do not shrink back in fear or doubt. Embrace the calling with courage and humility, knowing that God has equipped you for the task ahead. Remember, you are not alone. The same God who called you will walk with you every step of the way. Rise up, chosen one, and let your life be a testament to His glory. The world is waiting for the light that only you can bring. So why then the chosen ones experience miserable lives? Being chosen by God is an honor, but it also comes with trials, hardships, and a journey filled with rejection, hatred, and loneliness. Throughout the Bible, we see that those who were called by God often endured great suffering. This is not because God abandoned them, but because their path was set apart for a higher purpose. In this expanded exploration, we will uncover why the chosen ones face such hardships and how these challenges serve a greater purpose. Through biblical examples and real-life applications, we aim to encourage and uplift those who find themselves struggling on their divine journey. 1. Rejection. A mark of divine calling. One of the most painful experiences chosen ones go through is rejection. This rejection can come from family, friends, society, or even religious communities. However, rejection often serves as a divine redirection. Joseph, the son of Jacob, was rejected by his own brothers. His dreams of greatness made him an outcast in his family, leading to betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment. Genesis 37. Despite this rejection, God was preparing him to become a ruler in Egypt. His trials were not meant to destroy him, but to position him for his divine destiny. Many who are called by God find that their own family members do not understand them. They may be mocked for their faith or ridiculed for their vision. Yet, just as Joseph's rejection led him to his destiny, your rejection is setting you up for a greater purpose. If you face rejection, remember that it is often a sign of divine selection. God allows rejection to separate you from those who cannot go where He is taking you. Instead of seeing rejection as a curse, see it as God's way of redirecting you to a greater purpose. 2. Hatred and opposition. The cost of truth. Chosen ones often stand for righteousness, truth, and justice. Unfortunately, this makes them a target for hatred and opposition. Many cannot tolerate the light of truth, which exposes darkness. Jesus, the Son of God, was hated by the very people He came to save. The religious leaders despised Him because He spoke truth, healed the sick, and exposed hypocrisy. John 15:18-20. Eventually, this hatred led to His crucifixion. Today, those who stand for righteousness often find themselves under attack. Whether in politics, media, or even within churches, speaking truth can lead to isolation and slander. When people hate you for standing in truth, do not be discouraged. Jesus Himself warned that His followers would be persecuted. Hatred from the world is a sign that you are walking in alignment with God's purpose. 3. Loneliness. A season of preparation. Many chosen ones experience deep loneliness. This is because their calling sets them apart from the crowd. Elijah, a mighty prophet, had to flee into the wilderness to escape persecution. 1 Kings 19. He felt alone and abandoned, but God reminded him that He was with him. God often isolates His chosen ones to train, strengthen, and refine them. If you feel lonely, know that God is using this season to mold you into the person He has called you to be. Your loneliness is not a punishment, but a period of preparation. 4. Trials and hardships. Refining your faith. God allows His chosen ones to go through hardships to build endurance, character, and unwavering faith. Job was a righteous man, yet he suffered immense losses: wealth, health, and family. Despite his suffering, he remained faithful, and in the end, God restored him double. Job 42:10. Your trials are not a sign of abandonment, but refinement. God is shaping you into a vessel of honor. 5. Betrayal. A step towards destiny. Chosen ones often experience betrayal from those closest to them. David was betrayed by King Saul, who once loved him but later sought to kill him out of jealousy. 1 Samuel 18. Despite the betrayal, David remained faithful and later became king. When betrayal comes, do not retaliate. God is using it to elevate you to the next level. 6. Isolation and wilderness seasons. God often calls his chosen ones into seasons of isolation. The wilderness is not meant to harm, but to prepare. Before leading Israel, Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness. Exodus 3:1. It was a time of preparation before his great mission. Do not despise your wilderness season. It is where God shapes and refines you. 7. Divine promotion. After suffering is not the end, it is a path to divine promotion. Every chosen one who endured hardship in the Bible was later elevated. Paul endured shipwrecks, beatings, and imprisonment, yet he became one of the greatest apostles. 2 Corinthians 11:23-28. Your pain has a purpose. Hold on, because God is preparing you for something greater. So embrace your calling with strength. Though the life of a chosen one is tough, it is filled with divine purpose. Every trial, rejection, and hardship is part of your preparation. Trust that God is working all things for your good. Dear chosen one, as you reflect on these signs, may your heart be filled with hope and your spirit ignited with purpose. Remember, being chosen by God is not about perfection. It is about surrender. It is about allowing his light to shine through your imperfections, your struggles, and your triumphs. You are a vessel of his love, a bearer of his truth, and a catalyst for his kingdom. The world needs your light, your voice, and your courage. Do not underestimate the impact of your obedience, for even the smallest act of faith can ripple into eternity. As you step into your calling, know that you are not alone. God is with you, guiding you, strengthening you, and equipping you for every step of the journey. Surround yourself with fellow believers who will encourage you, challenge you, and walk alongside you. Together, we can fulfill the mission God has entrusted to us, bringing hope, healing, and transformation to a world in need. Join the movement of the chosen ones. If this message has resonated with you, if you feel the stirring of purpose in your heart, I invite you to take a moment to engage with this community of faith. Your voice matters, and your story has the power to inspire others who are also walking this sacred path. Here's how you can be part of this movement. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. My final point, beloved, you are chosen, not by chance, but by the intentional and loving hand of God. He has placed you here, at this moment, for a purpose that only you can fulfill. Do not be afraid to step into the fullness of your calling. Trust in his timing, lean on his strength, and walk in his love. The world is waiting for the light that only you can bring. Thank you for being part of this journey. May your heart be encouraged, your spirit emboldened, and your life a testament to the greatness of our God. Remember, you are chosen, you are loved, and you are never alone. Let's rise together, chosen one, and shine for his glory.